Greetings guys, girls and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. It's nice to see you again. I hope that you are well, and I hope that you are fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link to the page on my website that is full of donations, petitions, emails to send to MPs, etc. Or you can go straight to thequeerkiwi.com/support. As you can see today, my fringe is pinned, my face is bare, and that means it is of course another get ready with me and chat video. And before we get into it, I would like to give a big thank you to our patrons, Amy, Emily, Eliza, Scar, Jordan, Gina, Midge, Phoebe, Roxy, Theo, Sarah, Bunny, and Nicolaj. Thank you all so much. It really helps in me being able to continue creating, as well as Kat and I both continuing to create our podcast. So thank you. I appreciate it endlessly. If you would like to become a patron, the link will be in the description, or you can go to patreon.com/savvycat. I can't put makeup on with my glasses, and I forgot I was wearing them. Oh my god, everything is bright. They're blue light glasses, and so when I take them off, everything is like alarmingly bright. So today I'm going to be answering a few questions that I get a lot. And that starts with, how do you know that you're gay? Now, I have touched on this briefly before in my video growing up gender neutral and coming out, but in summary, I sort of never felt like I had to know 100%. I always felt like I'd be accepted, and it never consumed a lot of my time. There wasn't a moment where I just knew that I was queer. I was never closeted because there was nothing I was ever trying to hide, at least consciously. I was never trying to hide a part of myself. And so I never really had this moment of, oh, I'm this. And that is why I identify as queer. I don't identify as bi or as pan or omni, or I don't identify with any of those labels. They just don't feel like they fit for me. So I filmed on my phone, right? And my phone just decided to stop recording and flip the camera for some reason. Anyway, to continue, in terms of figuring out your sexuality, you have to realize and understand that it's up to you. No one else can tell you how you feel, how your attraction feels, who you're attracted to, or what it means. That is entirely up to you. Like, a lot of people will say, like, bi, omni, and pan are all the same thing, and they are very similar, but there are differences. And one of those differences could be just that some people who fit the pan definition identify as bi, and that is okay. You know, it's this thing of like, you get to decide what feels right for you, and that could change too. You could identify as bi and then one day realize that that doesn't fit you, and you're actually not bi, you're actually pan, or you're actually a lesbian, or you're actually straight. It's totally up to you. And it doesn't matter if it changes. It doesn't matter if you're confused, because the only person it affects is you. What does who you're attracted to have to do with anyone else? So then you get all these people sort of talking about like micro-labeling and how micro-labeling is bad for the community, and like there's no such thing as omni or pan, it's just bi, and by micro-labeling you're doing more damage to the community because then people won't take us seriously. And to that I do have one thing to say, and that is what does it have to do with you how someone chooses to identify? If it makes them happy, why do you care? Because then the homophobes won't take the community seriously. Firstly, they already aren't taking the community seriously. And secondly, why are we changing us for them? Why are you trying to make our community conform to what the cis-hets want? How does that make sense? Why are we trying to please homophobes? It kind of reminds me, you know, I did my video about Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, which you can check, again, up here, if you want to learn more about them. But they were pioneers in the LGBTQ+ movement in terms of getting liberation and fighting for equality. And they were told they were damaging the queer image. You're repeating the same thing here. People told trans people that they were ruining the movement because people won't take them seriously. And now you're saying that like omni people or pan people or like he, him lesbians or whatever the fuck, You're telling them that they're damaging the community because people won't take us seriously? What good is that doing? All you're doing is separating our community. That is all you're doing. How someone else identifies has nothing to do with you. If they're happy, let them be happy. You don't have to agree with something to respect something. Just like let people live their lives, you know? I don't know the difference between some of these labels. I haven't heard some of these terms before. I am still learning different identities. I am still learning what they all mean because there are so many, but it doesn't impact me. I do not care. I do not care how you choose to identify. I do not care who you're attracted to, as long as it's consensual and not like children or animals. Use whatever pronouns you want, identify as whatever you want. I don't care. Why do so many people make it their business to care how other people identify? Why does it have anything to do with you? If you don't like it, don't date them. That's all you have to do. Shut up and move on. People who don't respect, like you're saying like, they won't take us seriously. You're damaging our community. No, you're damaging our community by separating us all. By saying some people's identity is valid, some people aren't. Bisexuality wasn't valid for the longest time. It's still not valid to so many people. There's still so much biphobia. Are you going to sit here and say that bi people are ruining the LGBT community? Bi people are ruining it because people aren't going to take you seriously if you're dating people of the opposite sex? No, fuck off. What other people choose to do with their bodies and in their relationships has nothing to do with you. You're not dating them. And even if you are, their past has nothing to do with you. Who I've been in a relationship with in the past does not impact you at all. The only time who I've had a relationship with in the past has any effect on you is if there's like trauma and we need to discuss that, or like STIs or anything like that. That is the only time when you need to discuss a past sexual or romantic experience. That is the only time it is necessary to discuss that. No one else can tell you who you're attracted to. No one else can tell you how you identify. You can pick whichever label that you want to, or you can pick none. Totally up to you. No one else gets to choose that for you. And if someone else doesn't agree with that label for you, tough fucking titties. It's not their choice to make. It's your brain. It's your attraction. No one knows how you are feeling. And how do you know what you are? You don't always. And that is okay. You need to remove that pressure from yourself and stop telling yourself that you need to choose, that you need to know. I get so many people in my DMs who are like quite young, like 12, 13, 14, and they're like, I don't know. I think I might be bisexual, but I don't know. How do I know? You are still young. And this goes for heterosexual people too. I'm not saying that like gay people, you don't know that you're gay when you're young. I'm like, you don't know if you're straight when you're young either. So this goes for everyone. Just imagine, just hypothetically, think about it. When you're questioning these things, if there was no homophobia in the world, what do you think you would be? And I think removing yourself from it and thinking like that might really help you out. And I know, unfortunately, we don't live in a situation where that is true. But stepping back and thinking like that, removing the fear of judgment and removing the fear of telling people and finding a partner, your opinion and your thoughts are the only ones that matter when it comes to your sexuality. I also want to remind you that you don't have to be sexually attracted to anyone. You don't have to want to have sex. You don't have to have sex. Asexuality is completely valid. I also think something that's overlooked is people having like different romantic attractions and sexual attractions. So like it is totally valid to be like pan-romantic and asexual, where you are romantically attracted to people but you don't want to have sex. You have no interest in having sex. Or you could be the other way around. You could be aromantic and pansexual. You're sexually attracted to people, but you have no interest in being in a romantic relationship with people. That's totally fine, and those are also totally valid, and I feel like that's often overlooked and something that people get confused about. No one else can tell you how you identify or who you're attracted to and how. Sexuality is like a spectrum, you know? People might not understand that, but there's a lot of things people don't understand. People don't understand being anything but their own anyway. People don't have to understand you in order to respect you. I don't know the trans experience. I'll never understand that, but I respect it and I accept that it is real. And so if you don't know if you're gay, if you're bi, if you're pan, if you're a lesbian, that is okay. Don't feel like you have to change your identity to suit someone else. As I've said multiple times before, and I will keep saying, you are the only person in your life that is permanent, and your happiness is so, so valuable. You can't spend your life trying to make other people happy and comfortable, because then you aren't happy and comfortable. You get to choose the people in your life. And if you're at school and you're living at home right now, unfortunately you don't get that choice, but just know that one day you will. And you can leave people behind. You have no obligation to talk to anyone ever again once you leave home. You are your own person and you need to do what makes you happy and what makes you comfortable. Your comfort and your safety are the two most important things. And if you don't know who you are, that is okay. If you're struggling to figure it out, that is totally, totally okay. I totally went off topic. I started with, Savannah, how did you know you were gay? And I ended up here. Ultimately, I never questioned it. I just went with it. There's an immense pressure, I feel personally, in deciding what label you are. And so I just went with queer because then I don't have to know. It's just, I like who I like. End of. No more talking about it. And I thought I would let you know, in case you weren't aware, that is an option. You don't have to know. You don't have to choose anything specific. You can change your mind. And then there are people who have to come out multiple times too, right? Like you come out as like a lesbian and then you realize you're a trans guy. So then you come out as trans, but then it means you're straight because now you're a trans man who's attracted to women. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure it must be scary. And like when you have anxiety, you must feel like, oh, I got it wrong. But you didn't get it wrong. It's just a different part of your journey. It's just another step in becoming who you are. And again, I can't speak on that experience because I've never had to come out as trans. I've never had to face that reaction. And I could imagine that that is such a difficult thing to do. I didn't realize that my phone had stopped filming, so you missed the last part of my makeup. Hi, welcome back. Basically, I'm gonna summarize here. If you think that you might be queer of some sort, but you don't know how, that is okay. You do not need to know right now. You have as much time in the world as you want, and you can change your mind as many times as you want, because it's you, and it only affects you. And if the people in your life don't accept you, I am so, so sorry. I accept you, and I know that doesn't mean very much because we're strangers, but know that I and everyone watching this video love and accept you for who you are and how you choose to identify, and will love and accept you even if you choose to change that label and you decide that you are actually someone else. Just be your authentic self and live your authentic life. And it's easy for me to say, don't worry about choosing who you are, because that's not how any of this works. I can't just say, don't worry about it, because that doesn't help anything. That doesn't make you stop worrying. Just know that I and so many other people do not care how you choose to identify. And we do not care how many times that changes. And there are so many people out there who will continue to love and accept you through every change that you have, through all the uncertainty. And you should be one of those people, because you deserve that. Love who you are and be true to who you are. And it doesn't matter who that is. Life changes, we change, and that is okay. Just roll with the punches, baby. Honestly though, it's okay to not know. It's okay to be unsure, and it's okay to be confused. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. I hope that you feel a bit validated, and I hope that I answered any question at all. I went off on a few tangents, but I hope that something happened. My sustainable handmade t-shirts and tote bags will be linked in the description. There's a whole bunch of designs. You can get all the pride flag rainbows, any body type, and then a little rainbow kiwi fruit, and then my tote bags. That'll all be linked down there, as well as both of my Patreons, my family friendly one and my 18+ one. They will both be linked in the description too. And on my socials. You should definitely totally follow me on Instagram and everywhere else because I say so. Oh, goodness. Please, don't forget to subscribe. I always forget to say that. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. I'm here 2 to 3 times every single week, and I look forward to seeing you in a few days. So, thank you for coming along. I love you endlessly. Stay strong. That's not what I say. Hello, so I'm editing and I realized that after that failed attempt, I made another failed attempt and didn't rectify it, so I'm gonna try again. Thank you for coming along. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.
And when you close your eyes, you replace the darkness with light. You replace